DIY design can often get a bad reputation, and by DIY, I mean do it yourself. So when you're just making your own graphics. And to be honest, it sometimes really does deserve that bad reputation. People are putting out unprofessional logos or unprofessional graphics or a brand that looks like it was made by my 5-year-old, as talented as she is. And that's if there's even a brand there at all and not just a random Instagram feed full of random colors and fonts. And so last week I spoke a lot about why your brand might be the thing holding you back in your business. And so feel free to go back and listen to that episode. It was a really good one and it'll help you understand the context behind today's episode. But I want to go today into some things that you need to shift, because if you are DIYing your graphics, firstly, I think it's a really great decision. It makes a lot of sense, and I'm going to speak to that more soon as well. But if you're doing it the wrong way, your audience can and is definitely currently sniffing that out. They're sniffing out the fact that you are just doing your graphics yourself. And when it looks unprofessional, those unprofessional graphics are actually doing your business a disservice. But what if you don't have the funds to hire a really professional graphic designer to do your business graphics for you? Is the only alternative just to DIY badly or to hire a pro? I'm going to say no. And what if maybe you even could afford it, but you just don't want to outsource? You want to take that ownership of your business. You want to embed yourself into it. Or maybe you've had a bad experience with a graphic designer and you're not ready to go back to someone yet. Today, I want to give you an actual framework that you can use to fix your DIY graphics and to make sure that your DIY graphics are actually growing your brand, because I promise you it is possible to have professional graphics with DIY branding and graphics. Like that, they're not two non-interchangeable things, but there are some things that you do need to know, because the problem isn't technically that you're doing it yourself as much as professional graphic designers would like you to believe that. It's really that no one taught you how to do it properly. And so today I'm going to share with you some of the biggest mindset shifts that you need to take from being a DIYer and just throwing things together in Canva to being someone who can design professional graphics for your business. Because once you know how to do this well, design is going to become a superpower for you and your business. So let's dive on in. So hello, welcome to a brand new episode of the Seriously in Business podcast. I am so thrilled to have you here. If we have not met yet, hi, my name is Jacqui and I am a professional graphic designer who flipped her whole business on its head to help business owners do their own graphics instead. And I absolutely love coaching business owners to make strategic performing and graphics that don't take them forever using programs just like Canva. And so let's dive into today's topic. Have you ever noticed that when you see a fabulous looking business, you don't stop to question if they're professional, if they're a scam, if they're still in business, or who they're for, or what kind of service they offer? All those things just kind of naturally come to you. You naturally trust them and you naturally understand them. It's because the graphics for their business and their visual branding is subconsciously signaling to your wonderful brain that you can trust them and what they're all about, because it looks like their graphics were done by a professional. It looks like they've been thought through it. There's a whole lot more that's going on underneath the surface, and you can kind of subconsciously tell that. Even if you're not looking at it properly, your brain just isn't questioning them like it would be if there was just some random thrown together graphics that didn't look professional. And I so want you to be able to do this, to create professional graphics that don't make your audience distrust you or yourself. So the first thing I want to share with you is that there is a big difference between decorating and designing. Okay, decorating and designing are very different things. And this is where a lot of DIYers get stuck. Because what happens is they're just focusing on making things look pretty rather than designing with intention. Because the fact of the matter is we're not meant to be making graphics that we personally love. And as much as that's nice and as much as that's not necessarily a bad thing, we should be proud of our brands. But if we do just focus on pretty things, it's actually quite possible that one, there's not going to be any strategy to it. And secondly, that the pretty things you like will change very regularly, and the brand that you're putting out there into the world kind of becomes choppy and changing, and people can't form a connection with it or recognize it because you're changing it depending on what you feel like and what looks pretty that day. But your brand really does need to be consistent. It needs to look consistent. It needs to use the same colors, the same fonts, the same style over and over again. I'm not going to go on about this because I spent a lot of time in last week's episode digging into the concept of consistency, so make sure you go back and listen to that. But what I want to share specifically with you today is a big mindset shift that needs to happen for you in order to create your professional graphics and not get caught up in decorating over designing. So I want you to remember, firstly, that design has a job to do. Every graphic you make is there for a purpose. It's not just there to look pretty like artwork might be. It's got a very specific purpose. It needs to communicate trust, it needs to attract the right person, and it needs to move someone closer to a decision of working with you or not. And it certainly isn't just a pretty picture that's taking up space on your Instagram feed that you found in Canva. And so I want you to understand that every single element, word, graphic that you put on an image, or that you put on a graphic, graphic is either bringing people closer to the goal that you have for that particular graphic, or it's just clutter. And so I really want to dive into now on that concept of that design has a job to do. This is a really important thing that you need to understand if you want to make graphics that actually succeed and grow your business. So I can guarantee you're not just spending time on Canva for lols, although a lot of my students do end up really loving it. What you're spending time on Canva to do is to create a graphic that's going to grow your business so that you can get back to doing the things that you might love in your business, like serving your clients or working with that person or writing that email that needs to get written or doing the other parts of your business that isn't just the small Canva part. And so what I want you to do is shift how your brain thinks when you're designing a graphic. Instead of asking yourself, does this design look good? I want you to ask yourself, is this design meeting the purpose of why I created it? And don't hear me wrong, it is important. It is important that your designs look good. That's a given. But to be honest, it's almost a natural given that you don't even really need to ask yourself that. Your brain is going to want to be creating something that looks good. And when you stop focusing so hard on that, you actually get to focus on the strategy instead. And so what you need to do is get clear on the purpose of which you're creating that graphic. So are you creating that graphic to stop someone mid-scroll? Or are you creating that graphic to convince a total stranger that they should click this link? Or are you talking to someone who's been following you for absolute months and you want them to sign up for something free? Like, it makes a big difference on what the purpose of your design is onto how you actually design it. Or do you want your dream client to see one of your graphics and feel seen and just know that you're exactly who they need? Because each of those examples I just shared needs a different kind of design to create the purpose and intention that you're wanting to have. And I see this mindset shift when it's not being taken, when you're just focusing on the pretty, really manifesting in a business owner, when they might spend like an hour plus on one graphic inside Canva. They're just too worried about it looking good. They just keep on fiddling and tweaking and playing. Or when they find this really cute Canva template pack on Pinterest or on Etsy or on Canva and they're like, oh, I need to do that. Or they see this really cool Canva hack and they need to put all those things together. That's great. And there's definitely a place for those things and those times, but the pretty graphic isn't necessarily going to get you sales. Okay, there needs to be far more strategy embedded underneath. And if we let ourselves keep getting distracted by a pretty template or a cool hack, what's going to happen is that we're losing our time and it needs to be spent somewhere else in other parts of our business, not just fiddling in Canva, because we're just so laser focused on pretty. And so before you start any graphic, I want you to ask yourself these 3 questions. Firstly, where are you posting this graphic to or sharing this graphic to? Is it on Instagram? Is it on a different social media platform? Is it a website banner? Is it a newsletter banner? Is it a lead magnet? Is it a PDF? Is it going in an email? Is it being printed out as a flyer? Is it going on a billboard? Like, whatever it is, knowing where it is actually going is really important before you start a graphic, to know this, because it's going to inform how you design something. For example, it's obviously going to affect the size in which you open a graphic. I don't want you making an Instagram post and then printing it out as an A3 poster. We need to know the sizing. And it also depends on the font sizing and the design style that you use. If there's something going on Instagram, I'm going to design that differently to a YouTube thumbnail. I'm going to design that differently than a poster. We need to know the intention of the graphic and where it's going before we get too far deep. The second question you're going to need to ask yourself is, who is seeing this graphic and how much do they know about me? Are they a cold person that's seeing your poster on the street? Are they someone who's been following you on Instagram for years? Is it someone picking up a flyer at a shop? All of those different places are going to give you different context onto how you design, the kind of text you put in that design, and the priorities in which you place text. Like, are you trying to explain who you are, or do people already know who you are? Do they already trust you, or are you needing to build a whole lot of trust really, really quickly? Are they coming from doing a program with you already, or are they coming from seeing you at a shop and someone recommending you? All of those things need to have an answer. And it's obviously not going to be totally clear. Like, for example, if you do an Instagram post, you might have someone seeing it that's followed you for years, or you might have someone totally brand new seeing it. But you need to have the intention there. It's not going to always appeal or attract everybody. So you need to know who you're wanting this graphic to appeal or attract to and design towards that. Some of my posts on Instagram, for example, I'll do targeted towards people that I know have been following me for ages and I just want to kind of get them over the line. Or sometimes I'll do a post that I'm targeting brand new people. I'll do different sorts of posts, even maybe to the same place, because of the intention I have for that graphic. And so knowing that intention gives you so much clarity while designing and helps you to design a more strategic graphic. And thirdly, when you know those 2 answers, you can ask yourself, what does this person need from me to draw them in? Do they need a giant headline that says, fix your graphics now? Or do they need a giant headline that says, stop being scared of Canva? Like, where are they coming from, and how can you create graphics that attract them in? Because we can't just try to say everything all of the time with every graphic, because then what happens is we try to add too much text and the design looks gross. We try to make too many things important and the design stops standing out. So once you have the clarity of those 3 questions, what's going to start to happen is every design that you you do is actually going to have the impact you want it to, taking up space on your feed or costing you money printing it or taking up all your time in Canva. And that's how professional designers think about design. And when you start doing it too, you're going to notice a difference in how well your graphics will perform. And you'll notice that maybe your posts just aren't getting liked, they're actually getting action. Some of the posts that I do that might have the least amount of likes on my Instagram are actually the posts that are getting me traction in the back end of my business, but you would never know it from the front end. So we need to stop designing for pretty and for likes, but with strategy. And here's something that I really want to encourage you in before we leave today, because I think it's something that doesn't get said enough, especially with all of like the don't DIY, Canva graphics suck, you suck, blah, 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 blah. It's like, no, you're actually incredible for wanting to DIY your graphics. It's wildly practical in terms of saving you money and also giving you ownership of your brand and embedding yourself into things. But it's actually wildly practical. You have speed, you have flexibility, you have the ability to respond to a trend or something that you want to launch ASAP without needing to find a designer and then write a brief and then pay the upfront invoice and then go through the edits and then pay the finishing invoice, then get the final design and then post it. You can literally go in, create a design and post it within 20 minutes because you have the skills to do DIY design graphics well. And I think that's a massive competitive advantage that a lot of business owners are missing. There's this big gap between people that are kind of established-ish in their business but then they've got enough money to hire a designer, so they go and do that and then they end up being quite slow. And then the businesses that are huge because they have in-house designers. They have designers that they can action and do things like within like 2 seconds, and that's such a quick process for them. And so instead, when you learn how to do these designs well for yourself, and when you learn how to use Canva well, when you learn how to design strategically, then you get that competitive advantage that the big guys have with their in-house designers, even though you might just be a little guy with a small budget. But the best part is your audience can't tell that. Your audience can't tell that you're maybe new in business or that business might be a little bit slow for you right now because your designs are looking professional. Your designs aren't letting them second guess how incredible you are. Because I don't want you to lose clients to that person who knows how to use Canva really well but actually sucks at doing their job and actually sucks at helping their client. When you are incredible at helping your client, I want you to have graphics that show that off too. And so I've spoken today about the mindset shift you need, and last week we spoke about the consistency that you need. And consistency, a lot of that comes down to having a good brand, and creating strategic designs actually comes down to having a good brand. Because if I'm putting out graphics that look different every week, or I'm trying to design a graphic but I find it's taking me forever because I don't know what colors to use or I don't know what fonts to use because I have no brand strategy, or if you don't actually know how to call out the most important part of your graphic for people to see it, these are some design foundational things that you really need to think through for your business. And if you want to get started on that, I actually have a free masterclass I think you're going to enjoy. It's called Design Tools to Get to 100K Online. And inside there, I'm going to share with you some of the biggest DIY design mistakes that you might be making right now that are costing you clients, some templates that six-figure business owners are using right now to draw in clients, plus some Canva shortcuts that are going to start saving you hours in your business. Plus, I'm going to go over the exact way that I teach my students how to create a long-term, successful, strategic brand. And that's all for free, and I'd love to have you join me. I'm also going to be jumping in next episode to share with you some tools around how you can make your graphics actual sales tools for your business. Graphics that aren't just pretty, but are really clear. Some psychological tools that you can be using to capture attention, and some really great questions on how to audit your graphic before you post it to make sure that's always going to perform. So make sure you join me for that episode. And in the meantime, I hope to see you at the Design Tools Masterclass. Thank you for joining me for this episode, and I'll see you next time.